Well, good evening, everyone. Chris Schultz, Gary Hoff, FridayNightVictors.com. We are here with our Week 8 picks. It's hard to believe we're almost through the season.
Yeah, terrible.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Did you ever get over that Michigan loss, or are you still reeling a little bit?
It still hurts deep inside.
Deep inside, okay. All right, well, let's jump right into games. We got a full slate and some really good matchups. Let's start in the Huron League. 4-3 Milan traveling over to Carlton Airport, who is 3-4. Thoughts on this game?
Well, Airport laid an egg last week. Milan was back to Milan form. I like Milan, and this could be ugly.
I think it'll be a closer game, just because it's at Airport, but I think Milan wins as well. I'm still amazed at what they did to Grosjean.
Sure.
I'm also amazed at what happened to Airport at the hands of CC.
My homeboys stepped up.
Yeah, they really did. So
what happened.
I think it'll be closer, but I think Milan wins that game. Let's fly on over to the SEC. I believe it's an SEC crossover game. You have 5-2 Ypsi Lincoln at 6-1 Temperance Bedford. Thoughts here?
The rail splitters. You can't pick against Bedford.
I'm not picking against Bedford.
You're not picking against Bedford. They're very good. They're a great program, and
Lincoln's got a nice team, but they lost a game to Tecumseh. They're
lost by one to Tecumseh.
How'd they do against Chelsea? I haven't seen a score. That was probably their other loss, maybe. Or did they beat the Bulldogs?
I don't know.
Well, we should probably know that if we're going to talk about it. But
I don't know. Well, they're not beating Bedford. Doesn't matter. Bedford wins.
Yeah, you're going with the Mules?
Of course.
I'm going with the Mules as well.
Yeah.
All right, so next, let's go over to the LCAA. 5-2 Brooklyn Columbia Central at the disappointing 2-5 Dundee Vikings.
That's not very nice. Disappointing.
They have to
Do I
be
need to get Frank over here?
They have to be disappointed.
Is it disappointing? How about disappointed and disappointing? Is a little different. Disappointed, not disappointing. That's mean.
It was disappointing for me because I thought they'd go 6-3 or 7-2.
Oh, I did
Thoughts
too.
on this?
I did too. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Dundee was gonna be 5-4 minimum. Wow, this is kind of a tough one. I guess I got to go with British Columbia Central. Brooklyn Columbia Central. They're just playing better, and Dundee's, it's probably gonna be close, and Dundee will probably lose at the end. Unfortunately, that's just the way. That's just the way going. Yeah, I want Dundee to win this game, but I'm trying to beat you in the picks as well. So I'm going to pick BCC, but we are both definitely pulling for Dundee.
Okay, I'm going to go with Brooklyn Columbia Central as well, and I'm betting Dundee wins this game.
Yeah, okay.
It's just how it's going to roll, but I'm going to go with Brooklyn Columbia Central just because for whatever reason. Yeah. Okay, let's stay in the LCAA. We got 4-3 Blissfield traveling over to 1-6 Erie Mason.
Yeah, I think Blissfield is going to make the playoffs this year at 4-3. They're a little bit of a surprise. And that's why when I talk about the LCA being kind of strong, Blissfield is, one of those teams where
they're not where they were 10 years ago when they had some really nice teams.
No,
but somehow they're going to make the playoffs.
This year they're going to make the playoffs. It looks like, and they'll make it in at 5-4. I think Mason they'll wing it around and they'll do their thing, but. At Blissfield, it's just they're prepping for the playoffs right now, and I think this win will get them in.
Yeah, and I'll go with the Royals as well. So let's stay in the LCAA. The 6-1 unbelievable Ida Blue Streaks coming off the huge win against Hudson, traveling over to Hillsdale, who is are they 3-4? Or are they 2-5? Did you tell me 3-4? 3-4. I wrote it down, but I don't know. Thoughts here?
Yeah, 3-4. Maybe 2-5.
I don't know.
There's something. It doesn't matter. Ida's going to win.
Yeah, Ida's going to
win that game.
Let's just say that. Ida's going to win, and they will run for over 400 yards.
I think so.
How about that?
Yeah, Ida's just they're kind of amazing to me, I'll be honest. But
I've been blown away.
Yeah.
It's tough to be the guy after the guy, and that would have been Jeff Potter being the guy after the guy. But he's just okay, we're just going to win.
Well, you got to remember, Ida wasn't the team until they installed that full house tee, until the Jarmo effect. I don't care what it is. I'm calling it the Jarmo effect. Until they installed that full house tee and just started running over everybody with Bug and Levicki and a whole host of great players for Ida. It wasn't until they put that tee in until they started dominating in this fashion. And I got to say, although Hillsdale runs the tee as well, SMCC graduate Mark Lemeron is their coach. But Ida is just on another level. They set the standard, and they're following through with it.
Wow, yeah, I'm going to go with Ida. I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than they're going to run for a lot of yardage. Next is 3-4 Monroe at 0-7 Dexter. It's funny, we always talk about Ann Arbor Huron being not a very good program when it comes to football. Do they ever play Dexter? I know they're both in the SEC.
They should.
They should, because Dexter very rarely wins a game.
The Dreadnoughts.
And they're good in other sports. They're just not any good in football.
Ready? 100-0.
100-0. That was my line.
Monroe puts it on them and sets up a huge Week 9 contest versus Fortson to get to 5-4. Possibly,
which would get him in.
Which would get Monroe in.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's dive over to the game that you will be calling color on, and you've probably you bled in this game, and you probably still bleed in this game, and that is 4-3 SMCC at 0-7 Jefferson. Throw out the records. You called it last year. You picked the Bears to beat SMCC, and they did. Thoughts this year?
Yeah, back in the day when I played for Hall of Fame coach Joe Sanderson, the teams would pick 5 goals each year, and one of the goals was always beat Jefferson. I'm not sure they do that anymore. I don't know, but it's still a rivalry game, and it is a huge rivalry game for Jefferson. As we talked about, Coach Gino has not lost his Bears. They play their butts off every week. And
are you saying this is not a big rivalry game for CC, or that came out wrong, didn't it?
I don't think it came out wrong. Let me tell you why. SMCC the last 10 years has had some darn good teams, right?
Yeah,
really good teams,
yes.
Best in the state.
Yeah, they won a state championship.
Right. And the other years when they did not win, they may have a break or two here and there. Great teams. Jefferson over the last 10 years, besides last year, great teams.
No,
they've been down. The record over the last 10 years is 5-5. Okay, nobody gives the Falcons fits like Jefferson does. Nobody, not Milan, you could pick any team in the Huron League. Nobody gives them fits like Jefferson. Doesn't matter the record. So that tells me that maybe Jefferson takes this rivalry a little bit more serious than the Falcons.
Fair enough.
And that kind of, excuse my French, pisses me off as a Falcon myself.
I don't think that's French.
And I want the Falcons, I'm looking at you right now, I want the Falcons to take this thing serious. And I think it's going to be a great game no matter what. I guarantee this is going to be a battle, a great game, T versus T. But I want the Falcons at 4-3. This is the game right here will get you in the playoffs. This will get SMCC in the playoffs guaranteed at 5 wins. Week 9 doesn't even matter playoff-wise. It might matter ranking in the district. But I'm hoping SMCC takes this as serious as Jefferson does every year, and we'll see. But I'm calling out my SMCC homeboys right now. You need a good week of practice, and it starts there.
I'm gonna say this: I want Jefferson to win, and
I don't. This will be the only week I say that.
Well, here's the thing, right? They're 0-7, and they've played well. They deserve a win, and I keep guaranteeing that they will get a win.
Well, they should have won.
I want them to win.
They missed an extra point last week.
With that said, I'm going to go with SMCC because we're competing
isn't
here,
that interesting?
and I think SMCC has the better team. And
well, what game is Jefferson going to win? You said they're going to win one. You're not going to pick them any week. It's kind of disturbing on my end.
I'm actually picking them week 9.
Week 9, okay.
I will pick them.
Okay.
And I do my homework. I look ahead.
Okay.
This stuff is thought out.
Sure it is.
So, all right, what do we got next? So we both got SMCC there. Next, we have 5-2 Huron at 5-2 Flat Rock. Big game.
This is the toughest game to call for me this week. This is a very, very...
I think it's an easy game to call, but go ahead.
Wow. Now you're really making me wonder who in the heck... I think I don't know anything here. Okay. I was going to go with Huron just because they need the win.
They do need to win because they have Thurston
the
following week.
Flat Rock's in right now. They're in the playoffs. They're going to make it in with 5 wins.
because they're going to beat Ann Arbor
Riverview.
Huron at the end. But
matter.
they're going to get 6 wins.
They're in with 5. Huron may not be in with 5. It'll be kind of close for them. Huron needs to win. I like Huron coming off of a kind of a disappointing loss. Homecoming, they had all the festivities, and you hear it on the blog. You got the 35-minute halftime.
It's unbelievable.
Throwing
how long
spears
it was.
everywhere, and
There were no spears.
the
thrown.
band was on.
There was fireworks.
The band was performing on the Riverview side.
It was.
I don't
yeah,
know.
It was a long halftime.
It's been a fun week on the blog, anyway, for the comments. Airport and Huron, especially. I like Huron because they need this game more. Simple.
Okay, and I said it was an easy pick.
Yeah, who are you going?
Flat Rock Rams.
Oh, good.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
I've been disappointed in the way Huron's played
Yeah.
at home their last 2 games. With that said, they played very well at Milan. I don't. You know, maybe it just comes down to defense. I think if Huron wins it, it's defensively and maybe special teams.
I throw out last week because Riverview was just better. Period.
You think
they're
okay.
better?
I just and Flat Rock, I guess, is a team that beat Riverview. So
We don't have Riverview on here.
did we forget the Riverview
We
game?
did.
Oh, there we go. So it'll be in there. We'll throw it in. So I'm going to go with Flat Rock.
Okay.
All right. So then the game that I screwed up and didn't put in here
Good thing I caught that.
is it is because we would have gotten some
Black-
grief.
Blackbeard.
Grief.
Blackbeard would have gave us the.
Grosse Hill, who is 2-5, is traveling over to 6-1 Riverview. It is Riverview's homecoming, battling for the Colvin Cup, and the Red Devils currently own that cup. Thoughts on the game?
100-0.
I wouldn't say that.
Is that something?
No, this is a rivalry game,
Is it?
lot like Jefferson SMCC. I think it will be a little bit more competitive than that. So 99-0.
I think Riverview wins this game.
I think Riverview. Yeah, I think Riverview wins probably by a couple touchdowns. I don't think they could stop the T.
No.
Okay. So and then I'm glad you caught that because I didn't write that
Chris,
down.
it's what I do.
Okay. I don't even know what to say.
Next,
to that.
this is good.
Last game is the Gerwick Nissan Game of the Week.
Yeah.
It's the game I will be at. I've said that already.
Yeah.
7-0, Wyandotte Roosevelt. My father is a 1954 graduate of Wyandotte Roosevelt. Thought I'd give that shout out. My grandfather, Cecil Schultz, was a 1928 graduate of
Why is
Wyandotte
your name
Roosevelt.
Cecil? You look like a Cecil.
My name's Christopher.
Should be Cecil.
So, anyways, they're playing at Carlson, who's 7-0. Jack Jarmo has taken this team and showed them a way to win. Huge game. Thoughts on this game? We don't have a lot of time, but give me your thoughts.
Quickly, I wonder if they're happy in Carlson by hiring a Jack Jarmo. I just wonder if they're happy. I would assume they are. However, it all comes crashing down, at least in 1 week. Wyandotte, just too stout on defense. They're going to figure out a way to stop this Carlson attack of, they're not putting 40 up on Wyandotte. They might not put 20 up on Wyandotte. And I think Wyandotte wins the game. I want to say rather easily, but I just don't think Carlson's gonna get that T rolling whatsoever. And Roosevelt wins this game.
Okay. Boy, I don't know which way to go. I mean, both teams are 7-0. There's some good coaches in the Downriver League. Obviously, Jack Jarmo coming.
Yeah.
He's one of the better
Strengthens
coaches, right?
that just a little bit. Yeah.
Strengthens that, right? He's probably the best coach. However, a lot of people would argue that Ron Adams is just as good, if not better. Well, he doesn't have a state title, Chris. Well, he plays Division II. A little more competitive football.
difficult.
So, Ron's a good coach. Jack's a good coach. There's a lot of talent on each side. I'm surprised at what Roosevelt has done defensively this year. Yeah. They're usually good defensively, but very good offensively. I do think they will slow down Carlson, and I think they could probably score. I think Carlson's defense
Do you have a pick
isn't
in here?
as good.
Is there a pick in this?
I'm giving commentary here, right? Commentary.
Okay.
Carlson's defense isn't as good as it should be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Wyandotte Roosevelt
I knew
as
you were
well.
going Wyandotte.
So there are your picks.
All
We're
that.
running out of time. We want to get this done. Chris and Gary with FridayNightVictors.com.